Good afternoon. It's me, Angie from Learn Love Tarot, here to bring you messages of your highest good using the daily moon cycle and the planetary energetics that are aspecting around us to bring us information and empower us to use that energy to our best advantage. If you do find anything today in today's message that resonates with you, please do share your energy with me by subscribing to the channel. Welcome if you're new here today, and also helping me out by leaving comments and sharing my readings with others will help my channel grow, and I thank you in advance for that. So today I'm going to be doing an ACEs reading. So we're going to check out the energies of the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies, look at what is connecting them, and look at the aces of swords, which is the intellectual nature of the connection, the ace of wands, which is the actionable or passionate nature of the connection, ace of cups, which is going to be the emotional meaning or connection of the two energies, and then finally the ace of pentacles, what is happening currently with that in the 3D. In the description box, if you're watching later than the live, or if you are here joining me, thank you so much for the live. Right in the chat is a link so that you can check out these messages. Now, the Wednesday reading that we did last is still, the energy is still following through here to today, as I wrote about in my write-up. Yesterday's energy is included on that link because 1987 is important for whatever reason. Hey, Miss Peg, what was you doing in 1987? Let me know, because when I went on my meditation walk yesterday, I asked Spirit, show me an animal that I haven't seen before to give me messages of what gifts are coming toward us. What gifts do you have for us today? And before I saw the animal that I'll talk about, I found this penny, and I had to get my phone out this morning and take a picture of it. Again, it's on my graphics. It's 1987. So what are the frickin' odds of that, I ask you? 1987 was a 7-year of spiritual guidance, and there I was asking for guidance from Spirit on my meditation walk. In addition to that, right here, I have this black and white cat. That was the animal I hadn't seen. He was walking outside. I took Lola for a little stroll, and it was Lola's little twin cat. He was marked just like she was, with the white portion of her face and then the black around. And for me, cats are all about independence. They do what they want to damn do. Right. And also, so we got that twin energy, we've got the independence. And because he was an outdoor cat, I was like, that is all about freedom. He can literally do what he wants to. So, definitely some energy here that is still playing forward. And this was a new song that I got yesterday. And I was like, no wonder during the Wednesday night reading, I got the Jeff Buckley song, which I was second guessing myself about, called The Last Goodbye, because I had just watched a show called The Flight Attendant. And I was like, I'm just mixing up a character. His name was Buckley. And I'm just mixing up a character. That can't be the name of the musician. Well, here it was. So it was his name, The Last Goodbye. And that's was all about hate to see things between us die, but it's over. And that was on a sacral chakra day yesterday of the How Did It. I had only ever heard the chorus to that song, but when I looked up the lyrics to it, I kind of was taken aback. It was very emotional. So I'll let you read those because I don't want to lose it here with you guys. So, but it was a whole album apparently based on relationship ups and downs. Haven't heard it yet. I just got the song channeled. But what was strange about that, guys, if you remember, you were there with me or you've seen the video since, I said it feels like this Virgo moon eclipse is going to be healing or starting to heal with this new moon in Virgo energy, the first one of two, is going to be bringing in the healing of what started at the Aries eclipse last year. I look up this damn Taylor Swift song, and lo and behold, and the album is the Tortured Poets Department, released April 19th of 2024, which is a 8 year of balance that we had last year. That was right before or right after the Aries eclipse, which I believe was around the 8th. It was April 19th that she released this album, and the Aries eclipse was at 19 degrees. Sync, sync, sync. So that is even, I don't think anything's weird anymore. I get these kind of things syncs all the time, and thank you, Spirit, for that. But that was just like putting me over the edge. So we're going to be moving into this life path 3-day today, which is Friday. We've got a master number energy of this 22. And that's a master builder number. 22 reduces to a 4, which is the Emperor. With today's August 22nd, 2025, numerically adding up to 39, you may be relating to someone that is 39 years old. You may be. 39 years ago was 1986. So we're moving backwards here. I drew a bat and a ball. So the Ace of Wands energy with the Ace of Pentacles. And I want to know from y'all, with this new moon in Virgo, this new start energy, if you could take a magic ball with your magic bat and knock it out of the park, best case scenario for all involved, where would that ball land? And sketch that or write about it in your journal, because this is a very powerful new moon, especially for Scorpios, because 2 signs ahead, it's going to be the most powerful wishing moon of the entire year for Scorpio energy. Where Scorpio sits in your chart, you can even make that wish cater to that house's energy, that life area. And I would not be surprised if that comes to you pretty quickly with this energy. It is off the hook. I also drew a bird with a letter here, and that is the last symbol of Leo. I wanted to wait until the sun transferred over at 3:33 today. We moved from Leo sun to Virgo sun. So officially, happy birthday, Virgo suns. Now, with this Virgo energy, it's about a man's head. And the first card I'm going to be pulling on, I'll pull it here. The feature that I look at, that I see first, is this nautilus shape. And they are holding this key, this old school key, right into that lavender pineal gland. So this is the truth, and this is something that you can find within yourself during meditation. You can go on your guided meditation walk like I did and see what's rattling around in there. Now, I'm going to be doing the new moon reading tomorrow, since Eastern Standard Time. We're not going to hit Virgo energy here on the East Coast until 1:24 a.m. And then at 2:06 a.m. is when the moon fully becomes dark, the new moon in Virgo energy. Okay. Until then, until 2:06 a.m., so nearly 12 hours from now, we are still in a void of course moon. So when that void of course started, it's kind of like a Mercury retrograde. It was void of course in Leo at 10 degrees 38 minutes, which is an 11th Sabian symbol. 11s for me. I know a lot of you send me emails about it. See 1111, or that might be the first one that you ever saw when you started seeing synchronicities. So I thought, I have got to do an ACEs reading today to check out what's going on between the Emperor and the Empress, or the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, aka Venus and Mars. With today's date added up to that 39 that we talked about, 3 plus 9 is a 12 of the Hanged Man. Wednesday's night's reading, I forget what sign it was for, but it's a complete 180, seeing something from a new perspective. The 12 of the Hanged Man has a sister card of the Empress. So today's 22nd date, and the energy of the entire date of today. We've got Emperor, Empress energy, so we're going for it. Now, what I also saw was interesting was that the salve of this asteroid Panacea is all about focusing on optimal opportunity. That is that bat and ball. What does that look like? Okay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get our aces lined up here. So we've got our Ace of Swords, and we're going to be asking about what is the intellectual nature of the connection. And then we're going to be checking in with the Ace of Wands for the passionate nature of the connection. And then we'll check in with the Ace of Cups to see what the emotional nature of the connection is. Let me see if I can get my board a little bit further out here. And then we'll be asking with the Ace of Pentacles, what's growing here? So Ace of Pentacles takes quite a bit of time to grow. What is happening now in the 3D with time, energy, money, and resources? Okay, so I'm going to be pulling from this same deck just so that I can, because there's 20 cards in here that are representing the well, there we go. I didn't even get to ask yet. Well, keep in mind, King of Cups, he's been coming up. The asteroid Fortuna is an old sea captain. So this is a feminine King of Cups. What I was just getting ready to say, it has 20 court cards because there are masculine and feminine kings in this deck. Okay, Knight of Cups, playing a harp there. So let me get into the energy of the divine masculine energy. Who is the divine masculine representing here? King of Cups again, it wanted to come out. All right, so Fortuna, reflection and in-depth assimilation of our experiences. Okay. And what about that is crossed by the Page of Wands energy? So maybe this divine masculine energy is throwing caution to the wind here. What about the divine feminine energy? What is our divine feminine or yin energy showing up as? All right. Okay, you're doing some research here, divine feminine energy, and there's that bat and ball wish. So you've been doing a lot of research, and this is showing that someone graduated here. Maybe you graduated in 1986 or 1987. Again, let me know, because 1987 seemed to be very important, especially finding that penny on the day that was 38 years ago, which was yesterday. So this is a wish being scattered out into the wind, which is actually exactly what I'm asking us to do here. And let's see, divine feminine energy is being crossed by the Page of Pentacles. So you intend to reap the benefits, whatever you are researching, whatever you have learned. This could be, I've finally learned how to manifest properly, and not through fear, or not by speaking into the universe and saying what I don't want, or feeling upset about what pentacles we've been getting. We realize that we are the one putting the pentacles into the wishing well, right? So this is fully intended. You are going to water this research. You've watered this dream, and instead of a dandelion throwing the wishes out, now here comes the tangible results of this. These beautiful flowers here, and there is a dragonfly on the top of her flower, which is soulmate energy for me as well. Okay, so let's see where we go here with the intellectual nature with the Ace of Swords. All right, this could be key here to you understanding if this is an old energy, a current energy, or whether this is yet to be coming in for you. What is the intellectual nature of this connection? What is the key? What is the intellectual nature of this connection? Now, this is the Lover's Path Oracle, so I will be using the book because they are very specific stories about the court cards here. Yeah, it was really cool. I'm telling you, I just about flipped my lid when I took that picture of the penny and zoomed in because it is old and crusty. I know I said that on Wednesday. I think that was Aries part of their read. Don't let it get crusty. All right, intellectual nature sticking out here. Wow. Okay, so the Lover's card much. This is Isis and Osiris, the OGs of the Lover's connection. Okay, and there are more dandelions here all around them. So this is our greatest wish in love. So the intellectual connection, whew, that basis with that love is on your mind, love is in the brain. Wow. Okay. And the key to this intellectual connection is their passion, right? It's the lover's energy. The intellectual connection is very balanced. It's the yin and yang energy that I talked about in my write up today. And there's a judgment call here intellectually happening. This is further a soulmate card. This is Archangel Gabriel, who sounds the trumpet and resurrects past life energies coming back to us. And in this deck, Lonhauser and Elizabeth, she's been alone a very long time here. And he's finally coming back to her after having some travels. He's been a traveling Wilbury, and he's finally, after all this time, coming back to her. So this could be a connection here that is finally making its way back around. And we've got two soulmate cards here that are fueling the other. So that's something. All right, let's see what this intellectual connection is. Again, these are all very special stories. So I want to make sure I get the information right for you. So, right here. Lovers. The myth of Isis and Osiris illustrates the power of love and how it can transform us irrevocably. Isis and Osiris were blissful in their love for each other. Jealousy ate at their brother Set's soul, granting him no rest. He trapped Osiris in a coffin and heaved him into the Nile. Using the power of her love, the goddess brought Osiris back to her life for a final embrace. I just got chills down my right side. This is our last goodbye. Okay, so maybe you don't have to say goodbye anymore. Maybe this time's gonna stick. I don't know. Maybe there was some third party jealousy, like in their story. But I mean, judgment does not show up for no reason, guys. This is a very strong connection for whoever I'm reading this for today. Now, Ace of Wands, the passionate nature of the connection, and we've got the Fool energy, zero innocence. This is the story. There's fire in the back, and then there's this big ocean water. I've been saying for a couple weeks, water and fire make steam. So very passionate indeed. And this is a new chance. This is a new leap of faith. So, wow. And then in addition here, guys, at the bottom of the Page of Swords for Divine Feminine, we had the Page of Pentacles here growing these gorgeous flowers. So this is a new start in passion crossed by justice. So the energy coming towards you or towards this connection could mean that justice can be involving the law, of course, and judicial systems. But perhaps there's someone here that is now available for this new leap of faith because maybe they've gotten a divorce here or that's in the works. and that's making this passionate new start available. Okay. Wow, that's something. Okay. Let's look at the emotional nature of this connection. Hey, Miss Crystal, thank you, thank you. Welcome in. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate you. Miss Peg, as always, you're so wonderful. I tried giving Liz a quick call today. I miss you guys so much. I've had a billion people in and out of the house. Still got the flooring, the new flooring for upstairs, right in the middle of my dang living room. But that is okay. We're getting a third quote today, later on this afternoon. So let's look at the emotional connection. And we see this cup here with all these new butterflies of transformation, yellow butterflies. What is the emotional nature of this lover's connection? Now, Apollo, the sun energy, normally Leo, very passionate energy. That symbol, he is in, that asteroid is in Cancer, trailing right on, trailing Venus, or actually leading Venus right ahead of Venus. And that is a woman and two men. Okay. So if this divorce is happening, it could be a female that's divorcing a masculine energy. Okay. Making her available, but take it as it resonates for you guys. Okay. There's our emotional nature of the connection. Sacrifice. Okay. With there we go. I don't know what happened there other than the moon is void of course, guys. I am taking a risk with electronics here, just like Mercury in retrograde. Whenever the moon is void of course every 2.5 days, we can kind of have those same issues. So the emotional connection here, the emotional nature of the connection, let's have a look at this 12, today's energy of the Hanged Man. In this deck, it is called Sacrifice. So that's a Elton John song, right? This is about an impasse, surrender. Today is the path of surrender, surrendering our heart, opening the heart's cup. Orpheus was the son of Apollo. Stop. I just was talking about Apollo and Cancer ahead of Venus. It's still conjoining, still clinking glasses within a 3-degree orb. So he was the son of Apollo, and with his songs, Orpheus moved the hearts of humans and gods. And I just got that. It's no sacrifice at all. Elton John songs. He was loved by the nymph Eurydice, and he loved her wildly in return. Eurydice was killed soon after they wed. Distraught and mad with sorrow, Orpheus decided to rescue her with his song. He stood before Persephone, the goddess of the dead, and sang until she relented and honored his request, but with a different condition. Orpheus must not look at his wife until they were safely home. So this is being caught in between worlds, is what the meaning of this emotional connection is. And like we saw over here, the passionate nature with this new start information that was crossed by justice, one or both people, that could mean a divorce. Also, the courts could mean that maybe someone is a widow or widowed, a widower or a widow. Okay, let's keep going here. What is the practical or 3D nature of this connection? It's no sacrifice at all, but something had to be cleared with this connection first, guys. And there's two connections to music here because the masculine energy is playing this harp, and here the masculine energy is playing a flute. Passionate nature, no, not that kind of flute. Well, I mean, do what you want. It is passion after all, right? What is the 3D connection? You're like, it is not happy hour time, Ange. Speaking of, oh, I thought I had I opened a Truly and didn't even get to have a sip of it yet. Okay, happy hour for me. So there we go. Geez, I'll take the top one. Okay, in the 3D, Romeo and Juliet being pulled apart by family. That is the 5 of the Hierophant or the 5 of tradition. Here's Merlin the Magician, also relating to the crossing energy of the intellectual nature because he came back after a long time. I mean, look how beautiful that Merlin's wife is, and he was too busy for her. He was too busy doing his magic. And as I joke with this deck, with him being that old, there could be a significant age difference here in the 3D, perhaps. Um, if it is an older person and there needs to be some magic, uh, magic help available for a younger person, then okay. Scheherazade and Shahryar, this is all about wisdom. I'm noticing these swords in both of these. First off, here with this 3D connection, this is about truth. She holds the book of esoteric knowledge here. And this card is all about how intelligent she is. So you may think of each other as highly intelligent. You may feel torn apart by tradition or old timey values, or that something's just not possible. And it's going to take some magic here to get this connection moving. But Scheherazade ended up not only saving her own life, but of all the feminine energies around her because of her cleverness. So, this 3D connection is going to take some truth facing here and some intelligence, a way to work around some things here, especially if Merlin needs a little help. There's pills for that. If he's that magic, he should be able to fix his wand. I'm just saying. And if you're new here, I won't apologize for my stupid jokes because I got to keep the energy up, and laughing helps us do that. And all y'all that have been OGs from day one, you've met me. So on the bottom of the deck, there's our 9 energy and yet another musical instrument. Music may be really important to this connection. Um, Absolutely. Music and truth telling. Okay. Lots of passion as far as intellectually. And we see this Scheherazade, the intellectual connections, not only passionate, that's Isis and Osiris are the highest of the high. This is an old ass connection, guys. And that was crossed by Archangel Gabriel resurrecting something. So this is Abelard and Eloise. So maybe one or the other person is some kind of muse for the other person's music or art. Or maybe you just love their voice. That sounds like music to you or the other person, and vice versa. But there's definitely some obstacles to get through. But from what I see here in the pineal gland, the intellectual nature of this connection, it's not going anywhere. You'll be able to figure out how to get past these obstacles, how to make it grow. How to make it grow. Sorry, I keep making fun of Merlin, but I guess that's an easy laugh. For me anyway. All right, let's dig a little deeper, guys. This is pretty juicy so far. Wow. Okay, now we're going to be asking about, with 2 different decks, we're going to be asking about the feelings of the divine feminine for the masculine, masculine for the feminine, vice versa there. And then we also want to find out, we've already got the bridging energy there between them with the intellect, with the natures of each part of the connection. All right, so for the divine feminine, actually, I was looking at this deck earlier this morning. Okay. And Peg, here's I love this deck. Let's see what's up here. So the first question out is going to be, there's a 5 of Pentacles here, but she is entering this dark cave with this magical cape on and moving toward the light. Okay. So that's just as an aside. I'll be using this for the divine feminine side of the board, who's coming in as the feminine king of cups. She is parting her waters here so that ship can pass through, making it easier, being the calm in the storm, so to speak. All right, splitting on the 3 of Swords here, being the calm in the storm. Perhaps the divine masculine's been through a 3 of Swords type scenario, which would be great heartache. And over here, we did see with that the emotional nature of the connection that could possibly be a widow or widower energy, if not divorce or divorcee. Okay, so how does the divine feminine feel right now? She's loaded up here. How does she feel about the divine masculine? She could be thinking here. Let me come back to that. I'm going to take this to the side because I'm looking at the intellectual nature, but I just said feelings. So this might not be true here, divine feminine. You may think or feel that right now this would be a burden, but remember, 10 of Wands, she's got this last one carrying here with her tail. Yes, they are heavy, but the work is done. And all you have to do is set down the work that has already been done so it can reset to the Ace of Wands. So you may think here, divine feminine, that divine masculine is carrying a lot of burdens right now at the moment. Okay, but you could just be feeling like that. I would suggest that you ask if you're in contact with this person, because you might be thinking something that isn't true. And here we've got the Fool again for the passionate nature, whereas they could want to take this leap of faith anyway. Okay. Yeah, I would check just to see. I would say do not assume. Okay, so describe the passions that the divine feminine feels for the divine masculine. Describe the passion. This fire and water makes steam energy, this leap of faith. What actions does the divine feminine want to take towards this connection? What actions does the divine feminine want to take in this connection? Woo, I'm getting heat. I'm getting hot. I don't know if you can see, my face is getting a little red and glowy here. Knight of Pentacles. So you feel like this is taken for F and ever. You're like, passion, like, can I even just can I just play with the flute a little bit? I don't sorry, not sorry. But again, what is the how do you what actions do you want to take? You want to be loyal. You want to be steadfast. Maybe you do want to take things slow. Okay. But the Knight of Coins, Virgo energy, is very steadfast and you will get there. So maybe even though it's super water and fire make steam, and I'm making all the flute jokes, but maybe maybe this is so hot, especially if it's a connection that you've had in the 3D before. You want to take things a little bit slower this time as far as your actions, because and you've learned over time that it takes time to build something. Okay. 3 of Swords. You want to go slow because you don't want your heart to get broken. Or environmental energy. You're assuming that this divine masculine has too much to bear already because of some kind of heartbreak. Yeah. They could have been recently, Five of Pentacles, they could be in a financial bind. They could be a little bit lost right now, but again, maybe you're just assuming that as far as what actions would you like to take, you're like, I'm going to be the steady Eddie. I'm going to go slow because I know they've experienced a broken heart and it's taken them a lot of strength right now to balance out their energy. Or this could be a fear that you're having, okay, that you want to take it slow just to be sure. All right, Divine Feminine, I just heard shuffle, Knight of Swords. That's awful fast. That might be a fast or harsh truth. Like, I need to take this slow, even though you may not want to. You may want to take that leap of faith and just get to the fluid action, but I think you might need to slow it, down. Make sure that's not just an assumption there. All right. Ace of Cups, and I'm pulling on the Ace of Cups. Okay. How do you feel towards the Divine Masculine? I had a flipper. What are your feelings, Cups? Could have sworn I did. I heard it. Yes, I did. Two of Cups. New love, new start, renewal. This sacrifice could have been someone else had to go learn their lessons, guys. But in that song that came to me, it's no sacrifice at all. Don't assume that someone else isn't ready just because of what they've been through. You just don't know until you ask. But Two of Cups is feelings of equal measure. You feel for them what you feel the energy feels towards you. And the Two of Cups is a new start. Again, this could be a restart here in your Ace of Cups energy, okay, after some kind of sacrifice by one or both of you before this period of time. Okay, crossed by the world, what I just say. So the world card energy was in the I get emails every day of a card of the day. That was the card today, but it was the energy yesterday of the 21st, the ending of a cycle. How did it end? And in that other relationship with the Jeff Buckley, he says, kiss me out of desire, baby, not just consolation. So perhaps with this ending here that is in the environmental energy, could be true for one or both of you. Yeah. The ending of unsatisfactory emotions, Four of Cups. Not making this stuff up. The cards is speaking today. All right, let's look at the 3D. What's happening here in the 3D with this connection? Especially if there is family disapproval or Hierophant energy here, could be that they, again, are still married. We did see that Justice card crossing. What's happening in the 3D here for the Divine Feminine? That top one, Seven of Wands, you're standing your ground. You're taking it slow. You're holding integrity. You want this to be done right. And whether that is because of your own fear of heartbreak, or you realize that this other person has been through an ending here of some sort, whatever that may mean, you're still being steady Eddie here, crossed by Page of Swords. Page of Swords in the divine energy. Okay, wow. Making a wish here. So Divine Feminine was crossed by the Page of Pentacles. And masculine energy of learning something new, making his wishes, graduating into the next level of their spirituality, perhaps. So you're standing your ground, and the Page of Swords is in the environment. So double confirmation, air energy there with swords. They're not denoted to any certain sign, but the archetype is a learner. Okay. As we see here. All right, you're standing your ground until you learn perhaps more information, especially if this person has been gone a long time. Okay. And you've increased your wisdom here quite significantly since the last meeting. All right. Well, now let's look at fire energy of Mars, divine masculine, bottom of the deck, the lovers. Yep, they've been going through the Nine of Wands. Whether or not they're exhausted here, yep, in their head, but want to move quickly towards a all right. And I hope we're back here. Extra camera, give me 2 seconds. Like I said, I knew it was a risk, but it's important. So we doing it, we're going for it. All right. Telling you. But I mean, the moon went void, of course, at 10 degrees. Wheel of Fortune. So the moon, when that goes void, of course, guys, like I said, it's like a Mercury retrograde energy, car problems, delays, resending stuff, technical problems. Normally, the moon doesn't go void, of course, till the last 5 degrees, but sometimes it starts very early. So with the moon going void, of course, at 10 degrees, that means the majority of time it's moved through Leo before it hits Virgo at that early morning at 1:24. That energy is still afoot. So we've got quite a lot of time here until that energy clears. Page of Swords on the bottom again. Okay, let's go back to the Ace of Swords. We want to know what the divine masculine thinks about the divine feminine. Bottom of the deck will either be the divine masculine's environmental energy or the divine feminine's energy. Take it as it resonates for you. All right. So the divine masculine thinks that the divine feminine needs to make the judgment call. We saw that. No, we saw that up here with the lovers past. They think that divine feminine's a past life soulmate. They know it. They know it's being resurrected. And there is the Archangel Gabriel. That's the throat chakra. Wow. Judgment can mean right now. Boy, oh boy. Okay. We're just going to leave it here for just a hot second. I'll see if we can add me back in a minute. But what does the divine masculine think about the divine feminine? Possibly that the judgment call is hers to make. That the divine feminine would be an equal and balanced partner. Again, 1111 soulmate energy, and these are both soulmate cards of the major arcana. So I think very highly of the divine feminine. All right. What is the passionate? Where's the passion here? What actions does the divine masculine want to take? Okay. Again, in a place of learning. They've learned some damn lessons here while you were apart. And there we have the pyramids here, that connection back to Isis and Osiris, that deep soul tie. This divine masculine has learned a lot since you last met. Okay. If this is a returning person, and if they're just new to you, but in this lifetime, this is definitely a past life connection, guys, even if you've never met them before. Wow. Okay. Cancer energy here, along with Virgo at the bottom. So the action that he would like to take is to share all that he has learned. Okay. And he's really examining his own journey thus far. And Cancerian energy or action around him, okay, could be his the timing of alignment of head and heart, because the soul drives the chariot. This could be the divine feminine energy who is already aligned. I'm looking at the veils here, two different decks of Scheherazade. And then we have this veil energy on the chariot. Okay. So, wow. Okay. Knows love is on offer here from the divine feminine. It feels like he wants to share, like I said, all he's learned. This is fast energy, while the hermit is very slow. So it feels like you're on the same page here as far as the pace for the actions moving forward here. Okay. Wow. All righty. Let's get another shuffle in. That's sun on the split there. And right underneath that card, the death and rebirth. They are very different than you last experienced them. Okay. So don't assume, but like I said, you maybe had to go your separate ways to learn separate lessons. That's usually how that kind of thing works. There's that Ace of Cups on the split. And that happened with Ace of Cups and the Divine Feminine. Okay, what are the feelings? What feelings does the Divine Masculine have toward the Divine Feminine? Okay, hopefully the tronics are calming down. Marcia, you missed where I went on a spiritual walk yesterday, and it was 38 years ago, which was the numerology of yesterday. The date added up 38 years ago was 1987, and the penny that I found on my spiritual walk asking what gifts were coming available for us, freaking 1987. You're like, shut up, just turn the card. Just kidding. Okay. How does he feel? I said this down here. How does he feel about the divine feminine? He thinks you, I'm saying you, just mostly feminine energies watching. That's the only reason. He thinks you are so smart in your own transformation, and that he can learn from that. You can learn from that. He thinks that you've learned how to turn pain into wisdom. You've alchemized lead into gold. Champagne dreams on a beer budget here. That takes talent. And again, he knows that that love is on offer. Wow. Okay. And up here, I believe, is where, no, down here is where we saw actionable, could have been a court situation involved, possibly divorce or a widow or widower scenario here. All right. Okay. Thinks you have the salve. What about the 3D? What is going on in the 3D? Almost. Maybe they're almost ready. And it did take Merlin a long time to come back around. So, all right. What is going on for the divine masculine in the 3D here? Let me know if this is resonating for you within your own yin and yang energy, or whether this is a 3D connection for you. So, what's going on for them is they are attempting their own balance. They're given to a lot right now. They could possibly have children. So, Six of Pentacles would be a fixed earth energy. Taurus. Second deacon, Taurus. As is this Romeo and Juliet, the 3D nature of the connection. Yeah, there's family issues here going on right now, guys. They got their hands full. Okay, what's in their environment? Yeah, they could actually be dealing with a death, or they're, again, think they can learn from you about your transformation. Something is ending. They got a lot on their plate here. Something is ending here in their world, or they are transforming. And look at that Hierophant energy twice on the 3D nature of the connection. They still want to talk about emotions anyway, or they want to talk about justice. We saw over here, again, court could come into play here for whatever reason. And that could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, could be the reason they're holding back towards the King of Cups. You came up as the King of Cups, divine feminine energy. Wow. Okay. That's something. Let's get some advice from Spirit for you guys. Advice from Spirit to find out what's going on. And since we're officially in Virgo Sun energy, I'm going to pull out my earthy deck. All right. Cards that wanted to be left behind here. 3 of Wands, manifesting. Split by that 5 of Swords. They could be manifesting something new and have learned from this 5 of Swords energy. I forgot who that came up for on, I think maybe Aries on Wednesday. Yeah, the picking the lock. I shuffled these cards like crazy before I put them all back. They get split into 4 piles. Advice from Spirit. There's the Ursher Let It Burn here. They got something to, one or more of you have ish to take care of on your end, this transformation energy. Forget what was down here. Oh yeah, the divine masculine energy. All right, let's get, oops, we can't leave these guys behind. Let's get advice from Spirit. Advice from Spirit here. Spiritual enlightenment here, which is today's energy. The Hanged Man, it's on pause. Okay, we saw this actions here, both slow cards from the divine feminine and the divine masculine, working on balancing their own energies. Okay, again, maybe they're going through it, or one or both of you are regarding something here. Let's get a full card out, even though they want to throw caution to the wind. One or both of you does. It doesn't feel like that is possible just quite yet. But we do have the Knight of Coins there that always makes it to his destination. And the Hermit will make it there. Just he takes his damn time because he's learning along the way. All right, advice from Spirit. There we go. All right, letting the passion guide us here. Wheel of Fortune. There is another energy that's over and over again, guys. Soul ties. Past life soulmate energy here with the red thread of destiny. And it's a matter of time that wheel goes in motion. Divine timing happens when both energies are balanced. Okay, Six of Pentacles again. This could be coming to the 3D and fall by the time of fall. Oh, wow. Okay, the Lover's Connection 3D energy here, which is kind of very Romeo and Juliet-esque. Wow. Okay. So this passionate nature, guys, the reason is it's on hold or it's going slow because divine timing has to happen. One or more people has to find that balanced energy so that the connection can come to fruition. Yeah. One or more people are healing after some kind of jealousy, strife, and competition. There's a split of colors. There's the Tower. Okay, yeah. Again, at least we've seen this here, Four of Wands again, possibly healing from a split from a marriage for whatever reason by death or divorce. And they can't do anything to make a decision about that until this is resolved. Okay, yeah. Heartbreak, Queen of Swords, also justice energy, Libra energy there, which is where the divine masculine energy is sitting right now. A canoe approaching safety through dangerous waters. And there's the Judgment card for the third time. Past life soulmate energy. Wow. Okay, let's get, since we are officially in Virgo season, happy birthday, Virgos. We'll start with Virgo and move all the way around to Leo. Let's get advice about what's going on in this connection. Let's say that these are their energies. Okay, so whoever I'm reading for today, this is the other person on your mind's energy. These could be placements in their chart. Keep that in mind. All right, Virgo, what's going on with your counterpart? I'll take the top card. This is for us all because Virgo sun is going to be affecting everyone. Literally what I was talking about in the whole reading, unresolved issues. Okay. That's exactly what I said. All right. The environmental energy, underlying motives of someone else. Okay. They could be having a hard time getting out of this situation or something involving the court systems is delaying this, but neither one of you are in a hurry. So divine timing will be activated. All right, Libra, what's going on? All right, with the Libra person on the floor. Let's see, I got two here. Libra, I have the ship and I have inconsistencies here. It's in reverse. And then there's a detour in reverse as well. So at the next full moon, you might see a passageway open up. And we have Neptune here on the flag of this ship. And remember that Fortune is sitting in Leo right now as the symbol of an old sea captain. So reflection and in-depth assimilation of our experiences. That's the action happening right now. Wow. But for the divine masculine energy. Okay, so I'll keep both of those there on the top for Libra. Okay, maybe they're trying to get past a detour and are in some pretty rocky waters right now, which we saw over here in the 3D. All right, let's look at, oops, there we go. All right. I don't know why I was asked to shuffle, but I'll follow what else. Okay. That was for Libra. So Scorpio, if the other person is a Scorpio, what's going on in their 3D here? More details. What's up with them at the moment? All right, top card. I need to reach out. These are the flowers here that we saw in the Divine Feminine's environmental energy with that dragonfly. So they know they need to reach out. Okay, what about for if this person has a lot of Sagittarius energy? Thank you guys so much. Love you too. Oh, okay, we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much. All right, what about for Sagittarius? People with heavy Saggy energy in their chart. What's up with the Saggy energies? What's going on for them? Man, a little bit of indecision there, or taking some damn time, except for all it is worth. Okay, so maybe they just got over some kind of a big wave or something that threatened to pull them under. Maybe they just nearly escaped that. There's the birds from the channeled messages today on my writing. Alexa, volume down. I don't know why. Did y'all notice how that got loud all of a sudden? Okay, so again, that was in reverse here. Maybe they've avoided, the Sagittarius is just trying to avoid some kind of conflict there. Could be, could be. All right, Capricorn. If that person is a Capricorn, what's possibly going on for them? This guy? Okay, we will overcome this. So, Capricorn energy, whatever's going on for them, they are not going to be overcoming the issues, if especially if this is a whole family thing or a divorce thing. They're not, they don't foresee that that energy. They just kind of feel really bogged down there at the moment by and overwhelmed with whatever's going on there. All right, what about for Aquarius? What's going on with Aquarian energy, where we have Pluto, planet of transformation? Okay, commitment and reverse. So again, we've been seeing a lot of that justice energy, possibly ending a commitment here of some type. What about for Pisces? Person has a lot of Pisces energy in their chart. Okay. Pisces person. It's all an act, wrong time, and wrong place. This is bringing me over to this Libra energy of this detour. See how it's like this little puzzle piece. There's a detour that Pisces isn't thinking of. And let's see how this could be on the road, right? The sun is just over the mountains, and all they could be convincing, Pisces could be convincing themselves that it's just in their mind, it's all an act, but what they don't, they're just making, this feels very excusey, like wrong time and place, but they're not seeing that this is the puzzle piece. They're not seeing how they can detour past whatever's going on for them. They're just missing a puzzle piece. Okay, hope that made sense. That's just what I got. All right. What about for Aries? What's going on for Aries? Daddy Saddy and Aries right now, returning back to the very first lesson of the 360 Sabian symbols. And that is about becoming the essence seed of our incarnation, of our soul, what we came here to do. What's going on with the Aries right now? It is worth it. There's some pins. Maybe they're feeling poked and prodded. Whatever's happening right now for them with that coming out in reverse, they don't feel that it's worth it. Okay. All right, Aries. What about for Taurus? If this person is a Taurus or just has a lot of that energy in their chart, lies and partial truths. This always reminds me of a roller coaster here. So it could be the roller coasters coming to an end because of lies and partial truths. And we did see Taurus come in twice with two different decks with that Hierophant. Okay. And for Gemini, I'm going to try to hustle here because for whatever reason, my computer says it's running out of steam here. Gemini, what's going on with the Gemini? There are other priorities happening for Gemini at the moment. Well, we already saw that with this whole 3D energy over here. And for Cancer, person has a lot of Cancerian energy. What's up with the Cancer? Jupiter and Venus currently visiting there. There's a storm in a canyon facing a crisis philosophically. Cancer energy. That person has a lot of Cancer in their chart. 4s and 5s. Change. You know how sometimes you can just wiggle it just a little bit to get that. Oh, not going to happen. Okay. Cancer. You didn't mean it. Cancer did mean it, though. All right, Leo. Last but not least, bye-bye to the Leo sun energy. I am their light. Okay. Leo energy does not have the confidence that what's going on around them. Maybe they felt caged, but see how this moth is coming up out, or these lightning bugs. It's escaping the jar. Okay, so possibly Leo energy, again, with this transformation, could be flying away here with that masculine energy at the bottom of the deck. All right, guys, we got there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your love and support and energy. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. And thank you so much for all the support and love that you show me. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and much love from my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now.